And before you get, well, of course, before you get to any attraction, there are vendors and vendors and vendors, and they are there, and they are selling everything imaginable. And I didn't know how to deal with them. And then the lady that's in charge, the young gal, she says, don't give any eye contact, don't smile, and don't stop. Just keep going. You can say no and just keep going. Because there is no no. They don't know what no means. They won't take no for an answer. So you just have to keep moving and just pass them by. Because if you stop once, you're lost. I have to tell you about, so I made a little friend. He was out by our gate of the hotel, and he had a jitney bike. Well, there was a whole bunch of them there. And I walked out there just looking around. We were waiting for the bus to go, and he was talking to me and wanted to take me on a ride on the bike, and I tried to explain to him. I couldn't because I was going on the bus. And then he said, well, he would take me early tomorrow morning and drive me out to the Taj Mahal, and I could see it at sunrise. Well, I told him that I couldn't do that, that we had to leave. So anyway, he showed me his book. He opened it up, and it was all writings from people in there that he had as customers from all over the world, Japanese, Australia, America. Well, first he asked me where I was from USA, and then he was pointing out the ones from USA. and then he had another packet with him, and it was all letters that people had sent him with pictures of them and him in his cart, and this and that. So, and he was so proud of that, and he had these wrapped up in a plastic, 2 plastics. Well, the first one wasn't too bad, but the big cover one was, it had all holes in it, and it was getting so brittle and dirty. And so the next time when I came out, the next morning, we're coming out getting ready to go, I went over there and I said, I'd like to take your picture. And then someone took my picture with him, and his friend got in the picture too, And I said, give me your address, and when I get to America, I will send you a photo back of yourself and me, and I will send you pictures of Eureka Springs, where I live in Arkansas, where the mountains are. And he was very happy to do that. He was so nice. And then before I left, I gave him a couple of bucks just for. He just was nice. We could have had a good time viewing the sights together. But see, we were only there overnight, so I couldn't do that. And then Ralph come out, and then he asked, "Who is that?" And I told him, "He is mine. He is my husband," and he was bobbing his head up and down. So anyway, it looks like a little guy. This guy probably was 40 years old, but they are very small, slight-built people, and they don't look the age, as old as they really are. Then, we were at the Mumtaz Hotel, and then all night long, nobody could sleep. They had this man chanting, blah, 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 and when he'd stop there, then all the kids in the house and his wives and relatives, they would go blah, 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 saying the same thing over in a chant. It was like Catholics saying the rosary, only shouting it out very loud with enthusiasm. They must have been on a loudspeaker, because we could hear it up on the 3rd floor, and we couldn't close our window completely. There was you could just close it, and there was a crack there, and boy, that sound come through. I said, what in heaven's name? You'd wake up at 2 o'clock, it was still going. And I asked Uday, our guide, I said, what was that noise? And he says, this happens many times. people, as they get older, they decide they're going to tell everyone what they did in their life. And it's a story. It starts out who their mothers and fathers were, and like a geological calendar, and tells all his relatives that are gone. Then he starts out with himself and what he did, and then he tells when he got married, and then all her relatives, and then all her children, and all the names of everybody, and on and on and on. And then they have, after it's all over, or maybe even during, I didn't ask them about that, they having the tea and the, not liquor, but tea and food, cookies and sandwiches and whatever is eating. So it sounds like a giant party, like you'd have after you've been married for 50 years, and then you want to say, well, this is what happened in my life. But did he have to do it all night long? Oh, my goodness.